Thank you for the bananas in chat. It means that we're live on twitch.tv/Asuma, where this live stream is taking place. Wait, slash? Why would I put a slash? Hello, Iskal. Hi. Oh, I feel like I need to clear my voice. Right, we're doing a live stream. I don't even know. No, I do know what we're doing. I actually made notes before I started, and then I forgot. My sound off? No, it's not. Also, we're listening to Lord Leviticus, new record. That is my license to turn the volume up slightly louder than usual. There it goes. Oh, I love this. I love this record. I feel like I could write my blog about it already, but I just also feel like I want to get to learn it deeper, get to know it. Alfonso is here with the Prime subscription. Atomic05 has subscribed, and Reslang is subscribing as well. Thank you for using your Prime subscriptions, peeps. Appreciate it. So, what are we going to do today? What are we going to talk about? I don't even know. But I do know that we're going to be building a melon and a pumpkin farm. And the very beginning bit of this might be a little bit boring. Okay, just a little bit, because, right, I need melon seeds. I've only got a few. Right? Let's go. Oh, do you know what? No, wait. I've got bone. I've got bone blocks. I've got bone meal. There we go. This one right here, fortune, okay? Get some of this, some of that. Some of these, some of those, right? Put that there. Grow it. How many to get back? 3? Okay, now how can I automate this? Maybe... Okay, like that. Oh! I'm going to have to do this for a while, peeps, because I need more melon seeds. It'd be a good idea to calculate how many I need in total. This could be very slow and tedious. Wait, am I actually getting any more back? Things got fortune. We definitely got like a couple extra a moment ago. Okay, now we're up to 28. This is horrible. No, I know what to do. I got a better way. We should get these things planted and growing, and then they'll make melons, and then we'll get there. That'll definitely be faster. That is the faster way. Okay. Okay. So, everything I need is in here. And there's a really cool building technique. I do need more redstone torches. Yeah, that's all I need from that. More redstone torches. We've got one. One in here. But we have the means to make more. You live in a jungle. Won't there be wild melons there? There is, but I've already gone around looking for some. I think I've pinched most of them in this area. So, forget that. Oh yeah, I really need to clear my throat. Like, now that I'm streaming and talking, it's all of a sudden quite apparent that my morning voice is still with me a little bit. It's not that early, is it? It's not early at all, really. Okay, we've got noises in the ear from Maddie881 with the Prime. Grand Motoring's here for 4 months. Official Jaden's gifting a sub to Terraforming. Kynet, Keiki49, organic. It is organic. For some reason, I saw the word organic and it managed to throw me off. Don't ask me how. Spectrum Tempar is here for 2 months. Say morning X. How are you today, mate? I'm doing good. Thanks for asking, dude. Wikiliva is here for 4 months, saying I resubscribed yesterday, but I can send the message today. Anyway, I'm wondering, how will you read my name this time? Wikiliva, I believe is what I said a second ago, right? Hey, wait a minute, pumpkins? Oh, now it makes sense. The reason there isn't this here is because that one's built, right? I was expecting there to be scaffolding, you see. Okay, so if we start building this farm and putting in these melon seeds, which I need a hoe for. There we go, we're going to take that one. Then we will hopefully grow some melons, right? Are you having your cup of tea today, says Terrific Dan? I am. I got it right here, right now. Right here, right now. Okay, I was going to do the beat, but I'm not going to do the beat. I love that song, though. Amazing song. Hi X, can you fly across the map and look at other hermits' bases in this stream, says Gang Pirate. I was considering doing an impromptu world tour at some point. Because I haven't done something like that in a while. But I don't know if today will be the day. We've got other priorities first, okay? But an impromptu stream tour thing is certainly on my mind. So, they can grow into melons, and when they do, they'll provide us with more seeds. So if we keep building the farm up, floor at a time, which is not how I did this, I kind of did all the other stuff first, right? Which I'm wondering, should I do? Nah, it's going to be easy. It's going to be easy. Oh, I need to keep clearing this throat. It's crazy. See, the good thing about breaking this build into sections, like doing the torches first, then doing the lights, is because you don't have to swap stuff around in your inventory as much. But we need these melons to grow, right? How are you going to collect them? Says Ben Tony. Just at the bottom. They all gather down at the bottom, at the middle. Really, my voice does not want to be cleared today. I keep trying. I don't want to make too many mouth noises. No one likes that. And we got an Evil X. Oh my goodness me. Oh, hey, there we go. That cleared it. We got an Evil X. It's Angry K9 for 64 months. 8 months to 6 years. Yeah, incredible, right? Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate it. Will you add water at the middle, says Leonida? No, water will stop the items from collecting at the bottom. Right, we put in all of those bits, didn't we? So, some of those biddies, some of these biddies. Some dirt biddies. I was thinking of a really cool concept for a game this morning. Not a like, you know, non-Minecraft game, an in-Minecraft game. Might mess around with that idea later on in the stream if we have time. I was thinking of having a target system that you shoot at, right? So you've got targets that you shoot at. Thing is, you're on one side and someone else is on the other side. And based on what target you hit, you retract it from the other team. I thought that could be a really cool little modular redstone project. In fact, I've had so much fun with redstone the other day. I am very tempted to maybe do that on stream now. It's good to follow your inspiration sometimes, right? And I was watching Il Mango's video with his 20 like unconventional redstone components, and that was really great. I was thinking, I want to rebuild these block pallets in my own testing world and look at them every time I do redstone, because there are so many options in redstone that are super useful. Anyway, well, some of those options might become useful if we do a little bit of that today, but first priority is getting the tower and getting the path going, really. That guy Oliver has subscribed. Eleanor's dad has subscribed as well. Thank you, Eleanor's dad. Appreciate you subscribing. Is Eleanor subscribed? You know? Though? Okay. I guess you're setting an example. I get it. Okay. Well, thank you. Jerkrat is here for 5 months. Thank you so much, Jerkrat. Appreciate it. X wrong tower. I'm pretty sure... Oh, I'd have to, wouldn't I? I don't care. I don't care. Ah, I never thought of that. I never thought of that. I don't care. I just don't care. Okay, it's totally not worth swapping them around now. I just didn't think of that when I started building this. I totally forgot they were colour. Look, don't put dirt faces in chat. Not allowed. I'm dismissing calling this a derp. This is not derping. This is human evolution right here. I'm ascending to the next level. I am beyond the pettiness of the colour coding, the exterior colour coding that will never make much of a difference ever. Okay? Right? This is what's not going to happen. You're not going to be in the world download, right? years from now, flying around, looking at it and going, oh, wow, those pumpkin and melon towers. Or I'll just pop my head inside. Wait a minute. Oh, they're the wrong way round. I hate Asuma now. I'm going to unsubscribe. Jeez, that'll never happen. That'll never happen. Alright? So don't worry about it. It always happens. The unsuspecting derp. Carla Media says, but conservatively, we'll never let you live it down either. To be fair, it's not really much of a derp. I just never considered it when I started building the tower on the other side. Because I was just doing that when I wasn't recording the other day. Just remembering how these towers are built. Went back and actually watched a live stream. It's really weird having an archive of live streams because if I go tune into one, all of a sudden it becomes quite fresh in my memory. Although, that being said, if I go back even further in time, right, if I go really far back and watch like a live stream from like 6 years ago, I bet that'll be foggy. I'm going to do that now. I'm going to start going looking back at my old live streams and seeing like if any of them feel like, I don't even remember that, you know? Because I watched the one of me building this on season 6 and it all sort of came back to me pretty quickly. It was like, oh yeah, I remember doing this. Hey, you know I made a bunch of redstone torches, right? I don't actually need them. Because these towers... Oh no, one of them isn't complete. Okay, I do need them. You thought it was going to be another derp, didn't you? Have you read The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Frick? I can't remember if I have or I haven't, which probably means I haven't. But that was one of those books that sort of feels like shouldn't be a book. I don't know, like... I've read a lot of books along the lines of, I don't know if you put it in the self-help category, but you know, like the thinking about who you are and how you interact with the world. And sometimes the titles just give me this impression of like it's really going to go deep on something narrow, which is not always what I want to read. Like, I'm enjoying a book at the moment, but it's pretty like... You could condense the valuable stuff in the book into about 20 minutes, yet it's like 6 hours long. Okay, that's where I need to take over the redstone in now. Gotta make sure we do this right. Quite a ways to go, haven't we? Hey dude, wrong torches, says Lauren Floor. I don't think so. I think these are the right torches. We got noises in the ear here from TV Goose Rip saying, do you think that there will be caves in the water arena? Maybe, we'll see. Probably not. Because I'm pretty sort of settled on how it's going to all... But I don't think that torch there exists, basically, on the other tower. Right. Now we're back down to this level. But we are in need of some melons. Now there is a small % chance that when you grow this with bone meal that it creates a melon. Although I've seen that happen on the pumpkins, I've not seen that happen with the melons. Maybe it's like a pumpkin only thing. There we go. So we need one to have grown. Hey, there we go. None here. None there. Hey, we've got another one here. This is how we get seeds. That's it. 11 more seeds for us. Well, you started adding the redstone torches, one was placed differently. Oh well. Oh well. Oh, whoopsie. Okay, let's keep placing these. Right, we've got a noise in the ear from Gage Zip for 2 months saying, love everything you're doing and I love catching up on Hermitcraft episodes. Keep doing them. Appreciate it. Thank you. Dash, here with a donation. No message again. Thank you ever so much. I appreciate the support, dude. Appreciate it. We got Henkel Max for 30 months. Incredible. And Moogle's Doodle here for 3 months. Glad to have you with us. Thank you for the support. We got Mickey's Gun here for 18 months. Been away a while, X. Been super busy, but I started my own Twitch channel recently, streaming FPS games. I feel like it's super hard to keep talking. Yeah, it can be, dude. Just keep at it, keep practicing. You'll get the hang of it with time. Yeah, on the matter of just like continuously talking, it is a bit of a thing to get used to. That's for sure. Also, if you're playing FPS games, that like takes up more of your brain space, I imagine. If you're doing something simple and repetitive, you got a bit more wiggle room for talking. We got ADHD Biker here saying rip Elvis. Thank you for the cheers and bits, dude. Appreciate it. We got Natalie subscribing and Hunky Lifeguard here for 2 months. Thank you ever so much. Appreciate it. X, what made you start Vanilla Tweaks? Says Johnny to Nipples. It was the glass texture. I didn't like the glass texture. I always thought the streaks were annoying, so I decided to make a resource pack, or texture pack as it was probably called back then. And on that thing, I just decided to remove the streaks. And I can't remember at what point it became Vanilla Tweaks, but I think it was once I added a few more things. There must have been some other couple of things I did after that, and then all of a sudden, like, it started becoming a team thing, and more stuff happened. Have you watched Gravity Falls? I've not watched Gravity Falls, nor am I even sure I've heard of it. How am I able to see the contents of the shulker boxes without opening them? Have a mod called Shulker Box Viewer. It's a fabric mod. X opinions on Untitled Goose Game. Says Searchy Discord. Don't know what it is, never heard of it. Do you have any phobias or fears, says Akira? I'm terrified of when people ask me what my fears are. Or phobias. Okay, that was... That, you know, I attempted to be funny, okay? At least I tried, give me that. Jeez, it was terrible. What if we made a word for it, though? Like a word for having a phobia of being asked what your phobias are, right? Phobia? Ugh. Funny how he never got to actually building the farm, says P1 Entox. Funny, isn't it? I'm building the farm right now, though, so I'm not sure I follow. Okay, we can do 2 more levels with that. Brilliant. That'll keep me going. Asciophobia. I like that one. Asciophobia. Don't forget to use fortune when mining the melons, says Turkey Meatballs. Oh, I can't do that because this farm uses pistons. So fortune is kind of out of the question when you're using the old pistons. Okay, I love this farm. I love building this. This goes way back when, you know, to the early days of being a YouTuber and inventing little farm designs. Cool little stackable design. Made a few of those back in the day. I miss those. I miss those simpler days of Minecraft, building farms, and efficiency wasn't the only thing you thought about. Okay, so that's actually the farm finished. And there's a few melons here on the way down, as we can see. So what I wanted to do is to get this thing to fire twice, because, as you're probably about to see, sometimes things get caught on the edge. Don't know if that was a new one that grew or it was caught on the edge, but you can see if it fires twice, it's potentially a good thing. Okay, so there's our pumpkins. We look up. I can definitely see one more on the edge. Do that. And there it goes again. What I could do is have a shorter tick length here, but I don't think that's necessary. Okay, there we go. So I've got a couple of ideas now. One is that the button could be on this side of the block and we could have glass here and not actually walk into this space. Then we could have a water stream, just deliver the drops to here. Although the water stream would flow to where the button is. So maybe the player does walk in here. Maybe we just have slabs, then go into the middle bit. See, I kind of like the idea of separating all of the redstone, essentially. But what we'll do is we'll have a repeater go around to the other side. Actually, no, that won't work. Due to the way this is set up. Okay, well, there are several ways in which we can manipulate this redstone. But most of it is going to involve... See, the problem is, if this were all like one level higher, then you wouldn't have to worry about that. Because it inverts the redstone on the way up, so you kind of need that torch in that position. So the only way to get it to fire twice is if you have this in a different default position, which I'm not really sure I can do without making the whole thing look ugly. Or I could always lower it. You could use an observer with a button for a double pulse to make it work twice. Okay, I could, couldn't I? Let's go down here and check that out. We got redstone components that can get put away. I've also got stuff in here I'm no longer in need of. Probably going to need those though. And the hoe can go back in there. Okay, cool. So the observer, which I have here, and I need a button. But I need more stone for a button, right? Okay, so we turn that into a button and we grab a repeater and a torch. Have I done that right? Yep. No, I haven't. So that might just be it. It might also be too quick for all the items to get shuffled around and all that kind of stuff, but that could potentially be what we're looking for here. Now one thing we can do is have this facing... So where is our torch again? Our torch is there. Can't really be anywhere else. See, I'm just thinking about how it would look. Have it nice and compact. People are saying wooden button. It has a longer gap between the two, doesn't it? Yeah, sure. Question is just fitting it in here, really. So if the button, let's say the button's on the opposite side. That block is the one with the torch. Then the repeater is here in the middle and the observer's there. Now, can that update anything? I could use a piston to update it. You know, I like the idea of things being like neat and nice to look at, but sometimes you can just achieve things in other ways. So let's mess around with that idea. Okay, so that is in the correct spot. We need a repeater here. And then we shall put a observer Yeah, you have to face the other way. It's kind of annoying sometimes, right? If I now put a piston... Oh yeah, and a wooden button. Let's grab... just one of those. For now. That's got to be on the second setting. See, the problem is you can kind of see the piston. It just... Oh, you're the wrong way. Wait, did I really get that wrong? Guess I did. So now the question is, are there any more up there? That would suggest that that works, wouldn't it? It would suggest that it works. Even if a little on the ugly side. Now, can we hide this? I can actually hide it, like, completely now that I think about it. We just had a vertical torch below. Yeah, I think, since it doesn't look cool it being here, I'm going to hide it. I kind of like the idea of having the redstone on display to some extent. Which I could still do. Let me think. Yeah, no, I could have some vanity redstone for symmetry reasons, right? By bringing that across here. Then you want to walk in and collect the items, but you can step over the redstone. Okay, no, I'm liking where this is going. And then we'll have some sort of floor here, and then you collect the items in the middle, obviously. Cool, let's grab some of this, some of that. Got to put a block down here, I guess. And then just hide the redstone down here. Where's my torch? There it is. Now the other thing is, where do we put the button? And make it nice and seamless, right? I'm not sure. Let's read some noises in the ear, okay? We got Spangleboo here for 35 months. Thank you so much, Spangle. Appreciate ya. XPB228 for 2 months. Gypsy Bob 13 for 4. Taribo 8 for 25. Insert your own pun here. Been really enjoying the videos lately. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it. I ain't got a pun for you, though. Peeps are saying in the middle. Oh, yeah, okay. We can even set it off with a pressure plate, right? Have a little step up, or... What about, like, an observer block with a string on top of it? That would be interesting. That El Mango video just got me, like, thinking about redstone differently. Although you're gonna activate it like a whole bunch of times doing it this way. Same with the pressure plate. Maybe actually we'll put the button there, and then that can actually be our observer that creates the pulse we're looking for. So, oh yeah, we should. Can we rotate you? Oh, I feel like you can't rotate it, can you? It always faces sideways in the world because it doesn't face the player, does it? I don't understand how you could play the half of your life can play Minecraft. I don't know what that message means. So if it means I don't know how you can spend half your life playing Minecraft. Well, first of all, I haven't spent half of my life playing Minecraft. I've spent about a third of my life sleeping. No, it's not like I play this all day long. Jeez. Okay, so we can put a block there to receive the signal for the repeater. Thing is, it's just slightly off, so we want our repeater to be here. Therefore, I think actually it's just a bit of redstone wire, isn't it? Redstone wire repeater, and we got it. That should do the trick. Seems to be so. And then our vanity redstone... Oh, no! Our vanity redstone connects to the button. Huh. See, I kind of wanted it to be like that, right? But now only one side... Oh, that's interesting. Actually... I guess the timing of it being released creates a delay. Huh. So it gets powered the once. I don't think there's any way to change that. So the vanity redstone has to go. And then you just kind of look at it and accept it's that way. So what blocks go here, basically, now that we're at the very last part of this? I kind of like the idea of putting pumpkins in, like, and melons, right? That makes the most sense to me. Just like that. Not bad. Not bad. The room's, you know, the room's lacking a little pizzazz, but I'm not trying to make it a work of art or anything, am I? Use a repeater next to the button, says Ryan. Yeah, it was vanity redstone. It was just, the idea was to make it look like, you know, it's symmetric. Now the room's symmetrical and they both fire at the same time, right? If I put a repeater there, it doesn't make any sense. It'd also break the timing, so like I said, vanity. It's not actually doing anything. Anyway, I think that'll do. It does feel a bit odd. The thing with this project, though, is that I'm not terribly invested in the farm. It's just here to be used, so I don't have to make it look like a work of art. But there's always that sort of, you know, you look at it and you think this could look better, right? But hey, it's got its function, it's got its purpose. Let's go ahead, grab another one of those, grab another one of these. So, where is it on this side? It is... I think we removed the slab. And then it went there. Looks about right, doesn't it? Right, those are the blocks that we need. Well, maybe I broke one of them wrong then. Ooh. Ah, slight problem. I didn't want to do that because I want the melons to grow right about now. I need 9 of them, don't I? Yeah, so 9 melons in there and it's finished. And a button for that thing. So, let's put this away. Over here, where are we at? Those things. Okay, that can go back in the box. And I'm going to need Silk Touch. Yeah, I'm going to need that. Or actually, I can just use my pick, can't I, for the melon? Or can I? I was breaking it before, possibly with my pick. I'll just keep that on me for a second. Okay, this belongs back in there. Oh yeah, and I need the scaffolding, funny enough. Alright, noises in the ear. We got Pseudo Corpse gifting subs to Ook Canu, X Dudley. Oh, sorry, X Dukley, 123, Hyper Darkness 58, Irallo, and Hamster08. Thank you for the gifted subs. Appreciate it. We also got Arithmetic Nihilanath here with a donation saying, "Excuse me, sir, do you have a Prince Albert in a can?" I do not have a Prince Albert in a can. But thank you for the donation, dude. Appreciate it. Okay, let's grab that. So we can get it that way. That's cool. We just need another 9 of those. And we'll slowly build up the platform, I guess. And then we'll put the wooden button on. I haven't forgotten about that. Let's sleep in a bit. Let's drink some tea. Oh my goodness me. It's been 34 minutes. This tea is going to be sucky. It's not so great. Pseudo Corpse, thank you for the 2 months of support. Appreciate it. We got Snowy Banshee here for 2 months and Castor Christie 21 for 2 months saying, "So grateful for your live streams. I get so much enjoyment out of listening to your well thought out monologues and your rambling eclectic conversations. I don't even play Minecraft at this point. I've listened to you for days. You're beautiful." Thank you for the lovely message. I appreciate it. Speaking of monologues and rambling eclectic conversations, what are we going to talk about today? What are we going to talk about? Alsev99 is here for 6 months. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate it. We've got official Jaden gifting a sub to VTP2000. Thank you for that gifted sub. We've got Poke Einen here for 7 months. We Improving my English with a Sumer for years. That worries me. Today, vanity. Thank you. Yeah, I guess you can pick up words if I listen to people, right? You should look up the definition of vanity, because you'll see how I'm applying it to the situation. It kind of has a bit more of a definition than the way I've been using it. Anyway, Aristamo is here for 3 months. I'm a bit behind on Hermitcraft episodes, but we'll love watching your streams. Awesome, dude. Well, spoilers everywhere then. Pseudo Corpse is gifting a sub to Vivin Vardhan. Thank you for gifting the sub, dude. And we got Kordashi here for 42 months. Appreciate your support ever so much. Benji says, Jack-o'-lantern, you'll need lighting. Yeah, if I need lighting, jack-o'-lanterns are an option. That's what having a pumpkin farm is good for, right? Video games cause violence. Lavafall, I couldn't agree more. Of all the video games I've played, the amount of violence that it has caused is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yitzy says, no they don't lie. Okay, so video games causing violence. It's been around for a long time. I've been around for a few years. I've been, you know, playing games and seeing this conversation come up over and over again. In fact, it is probably one of the most resurfacing of hot topics that you see come back over and over again. And there are studies showing that, you know, video games cause violence. There are studies showing that it doesn't. You can... There are so many studies being done. Studies are not the end result. They are not the closing of the door on the conversation. Studies are insights. Studies can be flawed. They can have biases. But they do provide us with some form of information. Now, what I would say is that I've heard, you know, horror stories of video game violence, and I've seen stuff that's hyperbole, so to speak. And in my own personal experience, video games influence me, okay? They influence me. And it makes sense, because anything that happens in this world that you interact with becomes a party, whether you like it or not. It becomes something that influences you. So, what we can't do in this reality is take you when you were 5 and clone you and clone the world and have 2 of you, and one plays violent video games and the other doesn't. But can't you imagine that if you spent your life consuming violent video games, the chances of you becoming violent could potentially be increased? Not saying it would or it wouldn't, but surely seeing that kind of violence is going to have an effect on you. Now, I'm not advocating by saying that you know, the two are related in that way. My personal experience is that I used to play violent video games, FPS games and all this, and I found it really desensitized me to violence. You know, I'd be watching horrible movies with people getting chopped off and stuff, and it didn't shake me or anything. And then I kind of became aware of this desensitization to violence and decided to stop playing these sorts of games many years ago. And now I find, like, I choke up at movies. I watched Schindler's List, and it was hard to not cry watching that movie. If I'd have watched that many years ago, I really imagine that I would not have felt the violence and the suffering in the same way in that movie. There is something about, for me, simulating the death of humans in a computer game that just desensitizes me to it. You know? So yeah, again, I'm not saying that the two are linked in that way, that video games cause violence. Violence exists in society, in many places. And we all interact with different parts of society. And we all take it in different ways. For some people, it might just be the thing that takes the edge off. It might be the thing that stops them from doing something horrendous. It's very individual, it's very hard to say. But personally, you know, I think the argument around it is just too easily condensed into this, like, well, do they or don't they? It all depends. It all depends. Like, some people are very easily influenced, and other people not so much. Violence causes video games, says SS5D. Violence causes video games. Yeah, It does. Okay? How many games are there based around war? Violence creates video games. Like, lots of video games are based around violent events. Pretty interesting when you think of it like that, right? So anyway, we have this topic that comes up over and over again. And it usually revolves around the idea that video games should be censored or banned. I don't believe in censorship, I believe in education. I believe in... Okay, we've got this thing in the world. You know, obviously, by the way, obviously there are going to be like edge cases and extreme examples of things that we all agree on should be censored or whatever. But, you know, for where we have disagreements or whatever, like I generally don't believe in censorship, I believe in education. Teaching people about what they're seeing as opposed to just trying to hide them from it. If you try and hide people from something, you try and take it away from them, it empowers them, you know? You want to play that game that your parents took away from you more because they took it away. It's like, whoa, what is it about this game? I've got to play it. I believe education is a better thing. Give people the tools to understand what they're interacting with. You know, get them to think about it. You know, if you play, like, I'm very interested in war, okay? Historically speaking, and learning about war from a historical perspective. It's just unbelievable how grotesque war really is. But if you play violent video games about war, they kind of like, what's the word they love to use? You know, they make it look good. There's a word there and it's not coming to me. But I had a friend, you know, growing up when we used to play these video games, and he was always like, yeah, I'd be a sniper taking out the Germans from a distance and all this. And he even used to say it, it'd be like, you'd be the first person to run at the sight of violence. Like, the glorification is the word. Glorification. It glorifies it, okay? So I believe that education is the antidote there. You need to actually understand the horrors of war. If you go and learn about what happened in the trenches with the gas and the shelling in World War I, it's horrible. It's nothing like a computer game. A computer game will always make you feel safe and capable, and you know, like you're the hero taking out the enemies and all this kind of stuff, right? Whereas in reality, like, war is death. There aren't victors in war. There's just a lot of people that die. And then a bunch of lines in the map get redrawn at the end of it. Let's turn it over to chat a little bit here. What are chat saying about all this? I feel like the most of the idea of conflict is that it presents in stories both in video games as well as movies that glorify, or I guess makes it easy to show conflict. I'm not 100% sure what you're saying there, but movies do a similar thing, right? Movies can glorify it. And again, like, I think you need to have honest conversations around these things, right? Like, if I'm saying that video games and movies can glorify violence, I'm not also saying therefore they should be banned. Okay? I don't believe in that. Again, it's just education. You need to understand what you're interacting with. I can watch, you know, movies. For some reason, the movie Hacksaw Ridge just came to mind, but you know, like, that one really choked me up actually. Like, I used to watch a lot more violent movies like that when I was younger, and I watched that one when it came out a few years back, and it really choked me up. Again, just I'm more sensitized to it again because I stopped watching so much of that kind of stuff, right? But even though that's a really fascinating story, by the way, based on a true person who was a pacifist, who didn't want to shoot or hurt anyone, but wanted to partake and do their part by helping other people. And so they were like a medic that went out into the field into very dangerous situations purely just to rescue people and bring them back. Very very noble way to uphold your own ethics in an environment like that, I think. Okay, we need to sleep in the bed, don't we? Could games raise awareness for the atrocities of war, though? They absolutely could. And again, through education, through the lens of education, they could do that. And they would be a great tool to do it, to teach you about. I do think, though, they might be a little bit of a blunt tool, because games by default are supposed to be enjoyable and fun. So you have to make your game enjoyable and fun. If you want to really educate someone on the horrors of war, you know, your game would be like this. It would be like, okay, you're shipped out in a truck, you're heading towards the front lines, all of a sudden you start hearing explosions, you're trembling with fear, the smell of death is coming out of the trenches, you know, and then it's like you make your way in, there's bodies rotting in the trenches, there's rats running around everywhere, it's disgusting, morale is low, and, you know, as you're making way over there, oh, you get hit by a bit of shrapnel, and then maybe you get sent over the front, and then you're dead in minutes. Like, in World War One, people were just, like, people in the fight were just numbers being destroyed every day. It was a war of attrition. It was constantly both sides mowing down each other and hardly gaining any territory. I would play such a game, says Quirty. The point would be is that every time you played the game, you would get mowed down, and then maybe like 1 in 10,000 you would get a little further. But ultimately you just end up dying. And, you know, that would educate for sure. But would it be fun? Would you play it for that long? Probably not, you know. But yeah, I think games could definitely have the power to educate, no doubt. No doubt at all. Just depends on how they're done, really, more than anything, right? Alright, let's turn over to chat again, okay? I agree with your statement. Education is important. It is the basic thought of those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it, but I believe most people are claiming it as a tool. Ah, I wish I could... This is impossible. I need to get my chat upgraded in the future, okay? Autumn is working on it for me. I can't read the message at the bottom of the screen before it hits the top, because there's so many of you talking. It's crazy. That sounded like a message I was fully on board with, but I didn't quite get to the end of it. Vintress says, video games teach you how to defend yourself. Fact. I wouldn't be so sure about that, because a lot of, like I was just saying, there's not a lot of realism. You might think of it. Remember, many of those war games, you're running around just going, oh, shoot, 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 shoot. Like, yeah, it'll teach you some things about weapons and about scenarios and military lingo. There's things in it that you can pick up on and learn through, but to say defend yourself, that's kind of specific. I mean, can a video game teach you a martial arts skill? Not so sure it can, you know. Because that's physical, you have to get involved. Like, you might think it teaches you guns, but you're not actually holding it, it's not physical. So it can teach you some stuff, but some of the more physical stuff I'd be a bit more skeptical about, personally. Right, so I feel like here we're going to end up with some weird diagonal alley. What? How'd you get to that one? Oh, that bit in the movie cracks me up. It's just such a blatant butchering of the word. Diagon alley. Creeper behind me, really? Where? Jeez, gotta watch out for those creepers, right? Gotta watch out for those creepers. Okay, just making a note. We got noises in the air. From Emo, Tobias Royale for 7 months. Timmy, 19795 5 months. Fenty up with the Prime. Widder Shins for cheers and bits. Violence is older than violence. Simulators. Very true. The Pseudo Corpse gifting a sub to the cool guys. Thank you for supporting our community. We've got Joseph Foam with the Prime. Royal Rage 34. And SCJDG here for 13 months. Appreciate you. Thank you. Some great messages coming up in chat. I think we're going to have to save some of these conversations for the day that I get my chat pause button, because I really want to just pause and read. Battlefield 1 did that. You're thrown in the middle of World War I battlefield situation in which Impossible to survive, and every time you die, a name appears on the screen with their date and birth and death, and then you continue as a soldier to another soldier until they die too. Alright, that's an interesting way to do it. Yeah, well, I'd say then, like, you know, based on the tone of the game, did that kind of like teach you that this is awful? I mean, that's what it doesn't have to do that, right? Like, that's just kind of what I'd hope. If games are going to be educational, we've got to remember that war isn't fun and games are fun. So hopefully it can get that message across. But yeah, you know, it's weird. Like, war games don't appeal to me very much. One thing that would appeal to me a bit is the strategy of war. Where I'm watching World War II week by week and learning about how troops moved around at the front lines, I'm always very interested in concepts of supply lines and industry that fuels war, because when you first think of war, start to learn about these things happened, you know, like they teach you in school about World War I and II for good reason, because we need to know about these things, not forget them. And, you know, you just kind of think of it, alright, we send the people over there and they fight, and then, like, when you understand it a bit more, the complexity of it a bit more, you realise there's all these other layers of stuff going on. There's so many layers, like, even stuff like morale is important, right? And then you have, like, workers to produce ammunitions, and there's supply lines of food, and there's all these economic systems that drive a war. And the sort of game I'd be interested in, I bet there's one out there, I haven't researched one, but I think I'd be interested in playing a war game where you have to manage all of that stuff. Like, that would be really interesting to see how that plays out, like managing supply lines and food and industry, because they're like big and complex things to manage that fuel the war. And it would totally suit a strategy game, right? To do something like that. I bet there's been some that have been made with that angle. It's got to have been. It'd be madness if they hadn't. Absolute madness. No, it would be madness. Right, so a few people are saying Hearts of Iron 4. Cities, Civilization 6, I think I played that and it did not have supply lines in it. Okay, let's hope I don't get addicted to some video game and stop making Minecraft videos, right? Almost every strategy war game is like that, says Stern. Not the ones that I've played, like Command & Conquer, Red Alert, StarCraft, that kind of era of strategy games were the ones that I played. I never really got into 4X strategy, and those bigger ones, they kind of came like after I stopped playing games as much. Okay, obviously I play Minecraft for a living, but you know what I'm talking about. And there's a few that I've picked up over the years that I've been meaning to give a shot, but I just tend to prioritise other stuff, you know. But yeah, definitely interests me. Hearts of Iron 4 and Civilization are very much different games, says the Mad. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me that you're saying that, because Civilization, I played it and it's not what I was just talking about in my mind. Civilization, what is it more like? It's... obviously things are simplified a lot, but it's more like policy and diplomacy, I would say. Policy and diplomacy is more of Civilization's thing on a board game type thing, right? Like you have tiles on that sort of front. Right, so we're probably going to have a diagonal path go this way for a bit. Then it's going to, you know, it might be easier to start at the other end, but we also got to get a feel for the terrain, like high and low, and where is it all going? Okay, so best place to start is here, right? Except I really want to keep that tree. Sorry, tree, looks like you're going to go. I'll take the leaves though, right? I'll take those sweet, sweet jungle leaves because Iskall wrote a book. And apparently in that book it said jungle leaves, but the people of chat also clarified to me that Iskall 100% definitely wants jungle leaves. Oh my goodness me. Imagine if the people in chat got it wrong. Oh, think about how Iskall would feel. It'd feel betrayed, you know, that they could get it wrong. They know, surely y'all know how important it is to him he gets his jungle leaves. Come on now. Right, I got to go put these away somewhere, don't I? Because the inventory be accumulating blocks. Alright, we got noises in the ear. We got Mike O'Brien, 76 for 4 months. JJ-ish, 0304 with the Prime. And Indigo Guana is throwing cheers and bits. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate it. No message with that one, though. Where are we going to put stuff? Do I have one with leaves ready to go? No. We'll just put things in here. You know, something's got to go somewhere. The old saying, something's got to go somewhere. That's what they used to say back in the day. I will have a big old tidy up of these boxes at some point in the future. But right now we've got paths to build. And we got saplings. There you go. That was the other thing. Yeah, speaking of war, I watched Schindler's List last night. Okay, I'm definitely onto something with this whole, like, pick a classic that you ain't seen in a long, long time and just enjoy it. Okay, take out the choice paralysis. Oh yeah, we've got to fill in loads of leaves down there. Keep it simple, just pick something great and watch it. And I ain't seen Schindler's List in a long time, but watching it again, definitely remember pretty much all the movie as it was going on, but like, totally enjoyed it. But man, like, just forgot how horrific it is. That movie is really trying to teach you something about what went down inside of Nazi Germany. And this is a weird topic to talk about, right? But there is Holocaust denial out there in the world. And there's just such an enormity of evidence out there. Like, I've been to a lot of Holocaust museums, and whoa, we just broke a bunch of those, and seen like a lot of the pictures and heard stories from survivors. I just can't see like how that kind of, oh, it's a conspiracy by this group of people thinking, works against a tsunami of evidence, like actual physical reports from a group of people that were known for keeping reports on everything they did. It's the Pepic says ignorance. Maybe it's ignorance. It almost sometimes feels like willing, like you want to believe the thing that's not actually true. I don't know. Maybe it's fueled by hate. Holocaust was just one of the bigger events. There have been many genocides in the past, says Andsites. Yeah, there have been many over history. Unfortunately, you know, there is a dark side to all of us. And if you look at our current state of affairs, I would say that technology and the march into this era of, I don't know what words you want to use for it, like industrialization, all that sort of stuff, like, feels like these things are the solution for our demons, you know, because we have committed horrific stuff in the past. Anyway, it's one of the more recent ones. You see, the thing about World War II and why it's so impactful is because it's so recent, but we have video of it, right? We have video of World War I. That was very early in all of this. But in World War II, we have colour video, and so much more of it. What did I come back here for? Some wood, right? And, you know, a couple of people who are in chat are saying it's happening right now in this country or that country, right? There are atrocities always going to be committed. I think the way to look at it is that the overall amount of atrocities are going down as we progress technologically. Now, that's not to say, hey, everything's fine. You know, obviously, these things are issues to be dealt with, and the point is that there's a correlation between the progression of science and the increase of wealth and technology and medicine. All seems to correlate with the reductions of war and suffering and different definitions. It's even in line with poverty, and democracy worldwide is supposedly in line with this correlation. One that mainly applies to the last 100 years. Wow, we're really getting all over the place with this discussion, right? So yeah, so like, you can go back in the past and bring up people like Genghis Khan as someone who, you know, raped and pillaged an incredibly large portion of the world. Didn't he kill like 10% of the world's population while he was alive? And it's all about, you know, there's that quote that victors write history. I think it's a clever quote, but you know, the better way to look at it is that history has a perspective. And so, depending on what era of time you're in, you know, people who used to kill and murder were once the heroes and the rulers. You know, the times change and we have different perspectives on things. So now we look at something like, I don't know if Genghis Khan was ever, you know, reveled, or maybe we should start the path here. Oh, I shouldn't have chopped down that tree. Yeah, we're going to start the path here, actually. It kind of lines up with this. I don't know if he was ever revered and reveled, or in what context over history, but our perspective of history changes with time as well. A way to point to this that you might not agree with, I'm not making a comment on if it's right or wrong, but the recent wave of chopping down, you know, taking down statues of slave owners and, you know, like, wasn't Winston Churchill's monument defaced and all this kind of stuff. Like, history gets rewritten in a way as time goes on, so we look at these things differently. And so the Holocaust is incredibly recent, but we have very tangible evidence of it. We still have survivors. I listened to a podcast of Jocko Willink with a Holocaust survivor. That was just gut-wrenching to listen to. That was an incredible podcast, just unbelievably powerful. If you're looking for podcast material and you're not afraid of the deep and the heavy, I can't tell you the episode name, but if you go read the descriptions on Jocko Willink's podcast, it'll be a couple months back, but there was one with a Holocaust survivor that was just unbelievable. They tore down statues of abolitionists too, says Tridar. Yeah, I mean, I don't know the specifics on what they have been tearing down. I do know that, you know, when actions like that are happening, it wouldn't surprise me if you tear down something not fully actually understanding what it is. But I'm not going to comment on that because I'm just not particularly in the know. But again, it's the rewriting history. Genghis Khan killed 1.7 million people in 1 hour, 40 million altogether. He killed 1.7 in 1 hour and then 40 million altogether. I've not heard those statistics before, but let's just entertain them for a second. The point would be is that, like, because it was so far ago, we look at someone like Genghis Khan very differently to Hitler. And also because we have so much evidence, like video, records. You know, he wrote a book, Mein Kampf. Like, it's much more tangible and close to where we currently are that we look at these figures differently. Why are we talking about Genghis Khan, says Zapady? Oh, it's just a, you know, a happy, normal Minecraft topic, right? You know, playing Minecraft, thinking about Genghis Khan and Hitler. Just one of those things you do, apparently. Jeez, I don't know. I think about this stuff all the time. Like I said, I watched Schindler's List, and it's got me thinking about the Holocaust, I guess. Which is utterly, like... Oh, the atrocities we are capable is just devastating sometimes. It's pretty... I think it's something everyone should be educated on as well. Just to know what we are indeed capable of. Nerdified says it's a very important part of our history, and people might be more racist. I don't think you even need to bring race into it sometimes. It's just what we're capable of when we demonize others. Maybe not even by the motive of race. It's always just the us and the them, whatever those are. That's why something I don't like over here in the UK is football culture. Like, there's this real, like, yobbish kind of us versus them attitude. When I go to games, like, a lot of the chants are like, you dirty northern, you know, this, and or southern, depending on what game you've gone to and who's chanting. Like, there's all these chants about this is my group and I hate your group. And although you can go, yeah, it's just football though, right? Like, it's the same old tribal thing resurfacing again. This want, oh, I've got my ender chest on me. This like want an idea to put other people into like this category, and they're the enemy. It's just bizarre. Like, I hate it. That's human nature though, says Zero Kitty. It's without a doubt a part of our nature, but I believe we can overcome it, or at least use it in a better way. Like, I've never liked nationalism very much. You know, for country and for honour and patriotism, all that sort of stuff. But, you know, not to, like, get caught up in my own way of thinking. I remember listening to something a while back and someone said, like, nationalism is a really great tool to get a whole bunch of people to work together and feel like they're on the same side, even though they'd never met. And I thought that's a really interesting point. You know, it does serve a good purpose as well as a bad purpose, I guess. Also in Italy, there's racism, rivalry between northern and southern supporters and teams, especially in football, says Urbu. Yeah, I guess here's another topic I'm relatively educated on. It would be hooliganism in football. Like, growing up was the sort of... There was this like era of like a callback to hooliganism in football. And so I actually know a lot about hooliganism in football because I've seen it firsthand many times. And then I've watched documentaries and learned and investigated, all that kind of stuff, right? So a brief like discussion or history of hooliganism is that it kind of starts around the 70s. It probably has a further back route than that, but it becomes this thing where you have what are called soccer casuals, right? And the idea is that you wore sort of new streetwear, which was like Adidas and these kind of more casual street brands. And people tended to like... Initially, they didn't blend in. They blended in later, but you know, they come with this sort of certain dress code, and they would go to football games looking for violence. And like, you can find videos of all this stuff online. There are like clashes between different groups, and they would meet each other at train stations or outside the football games before and after. And like, it was just like a fever of violence that people sought out. Now, I always looked at these people and thought, oh man, I'll tell you a story that I saw firsthand. Okay, I was at a game. Oh, jeez. Thanks. Just like that, eh? Just like that. Ugh. I was at a game, and I saw this young lad just decide to go and throw himself into the enemy crowd, like, and getting caught up in the way of looking at it, into the other team's crowd, because after going over the rails, no one else came with him, as he looks over his shoulder, and then you can see his body language change. He like gets really shaken up, and then all of a sudden just decides, well, I'm going to jump into this crowd. Jumps in and gets just beaten on so quick. Kicked in, straight to the ground, 10 or 8 people around him just bumping and kicking him. And then the police come and drag him out, he's all bloodied up, and it's like, what are you doing with your life? But the thing is, like, in order to do that, you have to reach an emotional state as a human being where all of a sudden you what are you, full of hate and anger, and you want to throw yourself into a harmful position, or you want to, air quotes, impress a bunch of other people because you got balls or whatever, right? Like, it's not just mindless thuggery, as good old Boris Johnson likes to say. Like, there's a state of mind there, and I wonder what is that state of mind, and why does it attract so many people to come and partake in this violence? So anyway, here in the UK, it was a huge problem in the 70s. You can go watch some fascinating documentaries on this stuff. I find them fascinating anyway. And you can see this whole culture of like people who want to engage in violence with one another. And football, I really think, is not the cause of it. This is kind of like video games and violence, right? football matches do not cause violence, like directly like that. The sport itself is, technically it's briefly violent if you have a tackle, right? Like the football, now that I'm like weighing these two up in my mind, I actually realise they're really different. Like, football doesn't cause violence. People go to violence for crowds because a culture emerged where they could get away with violence at one point in time. I think it would be the better way to look at it. So yeah, we're getting like so all over the place with this conversation. Oh, I should have got some dirt as well. You see, now that I'm ping-ponging back and forth, I'm forgetting what I'm even doing. I Am Terrific says, do you ever talk about casual stuff? Not really. I don't like gossiping about people, so you'll never hear me like the he says, she says. And I don't engage with a lot of pop culture, I guess, so probably not. I tend to spend a lot of my time taking in sort of thoughtful edutainment videos, learning about stuff, philosophy, that kind of things. Football facilitates violence, says Retax. I don't think it does. Again, like I really think that it's an excuse. It's a place to go to. It's a crowd environment for you to get lost in and to partake in the violence, right? But if I were to argue against that position, I guess what I was saying a moment ago about it being tribal is maybe the place you could argue that it does facilitate it because of the tribal aspect. So let's say that the tribal aspect facilitates it, then okay. But obviously that doesn't mean we should like ban football. We need to just stamp out problems within it. So yeah, anyway, that whole hooliganism thing, like, there are all these movies about it when I was growing up. It was like there was a bit of a renaissance where the people who were directly involved in hooliganism were now older and they had money and they were financing movies. And so you had these like Rise of the Foot Soldier, Green Street, Football Factory, these kind of movies that really like glorified, or they sort of looked like they were glorifying it at the time. Me and my mates weren't into any of that, but we would watch it and we'd kind of get the feeling like they were trying to glorify the whole thing. But maybe looking back at it now, maybe some of them are more trying to tell the story, not so much to glorify it. It's hard to say. But you could definitely point at the people financing it and involved in it and saying, look, these people were like directly involved with it and probably have fond memories of it because they enjoyed like the violence. Hence why rugby is better, says Audaxavis. There's this quote that rugby is a thugs sport played by gentlemen, and soccer is a gentleman's sport played by thugs. That cracked me up when I heard that. You know, comedy always has like this little bit of truth to it, right? You can kind of see where it's at with that, even though it's, you know, just a silly old quote. Anyway, I can't remember why we started talking about hooliganism now. Tribalism, us versus them. It's just another place where it exists, right? In this day and age. As football involves two sides, when one side loses the match, supporters get angry and frustrated and violent, and maybe they're wrong. Way to relieve that frustration and anger, says Ubu. Let me put it like this. I've like dug into this topic a lot, and I really don't think that the football is the reason. Maybe it's initially how people get drawn into it. You partake in it after because you're angry that your team lost or whatever. But like when you get deep into that culture, you realize the people in it are looking for violence. Like the football is just this thing around it, like this conduit that gives them an excuse to partake in a team and a side and go to a place to fight other people that feel the same way. I really think it plays out that way. It's too easy to think it's just the football and the reaction to it. But yeah, obviously there will be some people that are just reacting to the football result. But the real troublemakers in that culture feels like it's more like anger issues and violence issues. Because, you know, if you took the football away, they'd find some other way to go and fight each other, these people. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for the fight. Third time trying to exit. In 1907, there was a 4-day-long war between the Honduras and the El Salvador because of the 1970 World Cup. Not surprised to hear that, but that's the first time I'm hearing that. Interesting, yeah. I mean, in the 70s was the peak of it all, right? Peak of the whole hooliganism thing. It kind of got locked down during the 80s. The 80s is when it turned into like casuals. Sorry, not casuals. It started with this like sportswear identity, if I remember it correctly, and then they became the soccer casuals when they learned to blend in better, and that's when it became a real problem in the 80s as well, is that it was hard to tell people apart in the crowds anymore, who was who, and then there were certain events that kind of just led to things getting shut down, and then things had to change. They introduced seating, all-seater stadiums, no terracing, and clubs now ban hooligans and whatnot over here in the UK. But, you know, they still turn up. I've gone to so many games with, like, where you just see clashes and hooliganism and thugs and all this sort of stuff. When I was a kid, at a football match, had bricks and bottles hurtled in my direction. Thankfully never got hit, but like just it still just happens and exists even now, like just in such smaller quantities, I think. Although I do remember hearing that they reckon that a lot of this stuff is not allowed to be reported on anymore, and it happens off pitch, that people sort of go and fight each other, but it's hard to say what's what, really. What is a hooligan, says Manuel? Someone who goes to football matches looking for fights, basically, to break it down. Another term that's sort of mixed with hooliganism is ultras, like real hardcore fans that you'll probably find there's a mix. There's a mix there of, you know, hooligans and non-hooligans. It's kind of like this dip when we're right in the middle of it here. But I think our path will have to go up a bit and then down a bit. I might chop down that one tree, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that's just about right. Just about to this height. And that tree's going to go because it's right in the middle. Alright, noises in the air. We've got Tuggy Gaming subscribing. Jod Reagan here with resubscribed for 4 months, saying I rarely get to catch your live streams because of time zones, but getting to watch your VODs after work lately reminds me things might not be so bad right now. Thank you for all you do because it helps so much. Thank you for the kind message, dude. I mean, you know that saying, always look on the bright side of life, right? That's pretty much it. There's always a bright side. And if you... Sometimes you're not really on either side, you're just looking at one of them. So which one are you going to look at? And what's it going to do to you? Hooligans could be the K-pop stands of football, says North Glass. You know, even for a joke, I wouldn't make that comparison, because the whole being like a hardcore fan of something in pop culture is very different from what I'm talking about. We're talking about people with like real mental issues around violence and wanting to fight and all of that kind of stuff, you know. It's not a fandom that's a bit on the extreme side. And I don't even know a lot about the whole K-pop thing. To me, it's just always sad just to see these little cultural blurps of like hating this group of people because they like K-pop or whatever, you know. Do you think the football community drags in a group of people that want a reason to establish violence, and this gives them a reason to? I don't think the football establishment does, and I think the community is just, you know, football's very broad. Remember, lots of people enjoy football, okay, and I think if something's very broad and a lot of people are into it, then it's easier for something like that to flourish. If football, for whatever reason, let's say it just attracted more introverted, passive type of people, then something like hooliganism probably isn't going to flourish there. So I don't think there's anything in the sport that really, you know, pushes it in that direction. Maybe the level of passion that the sport seems to bring out in people, but it's easy to get passionate about sports. I don't know. It's an interesting thought. What about American football and violence? There's Fizznaps. Now, I've seen a couple of things, but not a lot. The one thing I've always picked up on with American football is that, first of all, you don't have away fans and home fans, like, segregated, and there's less of an away fan travelling culture. Like, another thing that comes into play with all of what we're talking about here is booze. Like, when you go to an away game, there's a lot of drinking. Like, if you're on like a train somewhere, there'll be boozed up people singing and cheering, and like that's all good fun. But as you get boozed up, you know, what are you going to be like when you're angry and sober compared to boozed up and angry? You can see like the pieces are in place to make things turn south, essentially. I have got a melon block somewhere around here. There it is. So anyway, yeah, I never really seen too much about violence in American football, but I do remember there has been incidences of violence, mainly like stories about crowds turning on the players. And I'm remembering something where there was a game that got called off, or something really like blatantly cheaty happened in the game with the officials, and then the crowds all started throwing bottles at them. But that's you know, that's again less of a commentary on the sport and probably more about crowd behaviour when people are angry. Another thing I remember is that there was a... Okay, this is actually related to disco music now, okay? But there was a baseball game where people kind of culturally rebelled against disco music, and they all brought their vinyls, and they decided that they were going to burn their disco vinyls because they were fed up with disco. And it ended up with a riot, like at a baseball game, because the fire like kind of got a little bit out of hand, and then people just started running on the pitch and going crazy over disco. Like, such a weird story that. I mean, I'm not massive on the day disco died, says Truey. I think they call it that, don't they? I'm not a massive fan of disco, but I do certainly like some particular disco songs, especially some of those ones that have been like, you know, reused in hip-hop music, that more kind of that vibe, let's just call it a vibe, right? So I like, you know, a bit of this and that. I don't like, what's the point in hating it? But it's just mad. Something like that can happen. My favourite disco track though, I'm just trying to remember the name of it. I think it's the name Cheryl something. Got to Be Real. I'm going to look that up right now. Got to Be Real is the name of the song, and I'm pretty sure her name is Cheryl something. Okay, my archive is scanning. Cheryl Lynn, that's what I thought it was, yeah. That's a disco song that I like. And there's one other. There's that song, and then I think there's one other that I'm really fond of, but I might get them muddled up in my head. Cheryl Cole. No, Cheryl Lynn. Sheryl Crow. Yeah, she was like a country singer, wasn't she? Kara says, what's your opinion on country music? Now, I listened to a country music song earlier today that was in the middle of a podcast that I was listening to. And it made me realise, I don't know why I've never thought this about before, because it's sort of really obvious, but isn't a lot of country music about the story that you're hearing, right? Because me and lyrics is a bit of a weird thing. Like, I just don't take in words the same way I take in the music. So, obviously I like hip-hop, a lot of lyricism going on there, but like, country music is really about the story and the song, and it's just gonna hit me that if you pay more attention to the story and the song, then it will probably offer you more as a musical genre. Okay, there we go, look at that. So we got both our paths cleared out. Takes time doing this stuff, doesn't it? 21B is here with the Prime, and we got Hey Kesey subscribing as well. Thank you ever so much, appreciate it. I think that the music, best music, is about the story. Says, well, your username's full of numbers. How am I supposed to read that? For me, I really think it's just about connecting with the music. Have you heard Hey Ya by Outkast? I mean, who hasn't heard Hey Ya by Outkast? That's the real question right there. To me, it's about connecting with the music, like trying to find the connection. When I go to enjoy music, I try and figure out, like, essentially, what is it about, or what am I supposed to enjoy here? Because it can be a variety of things. Sometimes the thing that's really great about listening to music is the lyrics and the words, and sometimes it's not. Just depends, really. So I don't try and boil it down to like, oh, music is about this for me. It's more like, we can start placing down this stuff now. For me, it's more like, how can I connect with this music? How can I find that point that makes sense? I've got to stop doing this. Like, no one is ever going to come by and notice that you can see dirt on the side of those leaf blocks, but I have to. It's the rules. It's the rules. I should really stop doing that. It's a waste of time. So that tree's going to need some wedging and some moving about. That's for sure. Because music is good because you can choose what you want to get out of each song, says Rebs. Yeah. Sometimes it's not always a choice, sometimes it's more reflexive, right? But yeah. Oh, are we one over? We're one over. X, what are your thoughts on Bayern wrecking Barcelona 8-2? I've noticed this thing in football where, like, the punditry around the result is very, I don't know, like, what do you call it? Hindsight. It's very hindsight. And so I don't find punditry around post-results of games particularly interesting. So my own punditry would not be particularly interesting. I don't really know a lot about what Barcelona are up to. I've actually seen Barcelona play. In 2015, I saw Messi, Suarez, and Neymar all score. I think one of them even got a hat-trick. That was cool. At the new camp. That was awesome, to be fair. Like, I remember it so well. It was great. But let's get some food in my belly. But yeah, it's like so easy to make all these grand statements about their team after losing 8-2. I don't really know what to comment on the state of their team, but obviously no one wants to get beaten 8-2 because you'd hate to be a Barcelona fan. Oh, X! Oh, you genius! That one, my mate came up with at the pub years and years ago when Man United thrashed Arsenal 8-2. Some of my friends are United fans, some of them are Arsenal, right? And we're in the pub, and at the end of the game, my mate turned around to me, just had this like look on his face, like I've got to deliver this to you. I'd hate to be an Arsenal fan. So when I saw that result, that's the first thing I thought of. It's the first thing I thought of. First thing I thought of. 8-2 be an Arsenal fan. Or a Barcelona fan in this regard. Wow, watching those three legendary three all score at the new camp. You're one lucky fella. Yeah, well that's it. Like, it was, you know, but exactly that. Those three. Couldn't have asked for much more, right? Couldn't ask for more. Totem, thank you, Salty Gamer. Wow, appreciate it. Yeah, I need to restock that thing, don't I? I'm gonna chuck. You know, I could spend ages putting all these things back in. I'm just gonna chuck them down there. Also, I think we're done with leaf placing at the moment because we filled in the edges. Although I probably need a few more. Whatever. Whatever. I like this little area down here. I really want to add more stuff to it though. I would like an excuse, a reason to add more things down here. So the biggest question in soccer, who is better, Messi or Ronaldo, says Neowind. I really don't think you can say. You know, they've both got different attributes, right? Those kind of questions don't interest me that much. They're not numbers, you know. One's not 99 and the other's 98, essentially. Will episode 950 be a special? Only if, by some sort of miracle or circumstance, something special lands in my lap. Otherwise, it will just be a regular episode, right? I'm looking for, like, a box of slabs that I thought I left lying around somewhere, but I don't know where I left it now. Huh. Actually, where is that box of slabs? It's not here, is it? No. Well, there's 2 slabs in that one, but that's not it. It is not here. Well, we checked all of those. Wonder where I left it. I might have left it near that path, actually. Let's sleep in the beds. See if we've got it. Do you think episode 1000 of Hermitcraft will be on season 7? I'd say it's likely, however, if there's a major update coming, one that might incentivize a reset around the sort of, like, you know, like 6 months from now kind of time, then maybe not. But what I've got planned for episode 1000 will take place... Not again. Not again. No! You're getting to get glowed! Get glowed in the gap! Okay, sword, don't fail me now. Woo. Jeez Louise, there's no shulker box down here. There is no shulker box. So, whatever happened to that one, I don't know. Oof. Well, yeah, notice how that's all higher up there. I guess we'll create like a little step down to this level at some point. Then come around this way. Continue at this height all the way across. Very nice. Ha, I need some wood over here. Do I have any? No, that's not what I'm trying to do. Not on me. I need to just move that over a little bit, don't I? Jeez, I've got to do that a couple of times. This is the thing. I just, you know, got to do this, got to do that. Don't really think about it too much when I'm over here. Let's go grab some logs. Man, these creepers in this jungle, says Bread Tab. I know, right? They are just the worst. I didn't take any damage. Also, take your stinking gunpowder back. So, well, I already had those ones. Gonna need some of these. That's it. Back over we go. I wonder if I've got any smooth quartz lying around in here. The answer is no. No, I do not. Why did I need all of this? I know why I smelted that. Oh, I got a little bit. I know why I smelted this. Ironically, it was for the arena, but I no longer need it for it. I no longer need it. Yeah, this thing can actually have its step down probably right about here. That works. And we got a noise in the ear. We've had several actually since I last read them out. Hey Kiasi, thank you for the Prime. TM Place 55 for 7 months. I know you like Fatboy Slim. What other electric / break musicians do you like? Well, off the top of my head, what always come to my mind is yeah, it'll always come to my mind. What is it? What is that thing that will always come to my mind? Jeez. Why? I feel like I have the word in my head, but my brain is telling me I'm wrong. Oh my god, I'm going to have to search it up because I feel like I'm going to say the wrong thing. Yeah, no, got it. Photech. Photech. I really love the big beat sound, but like I never got too deep into it. And there's like a few songs and artists that I know around that. But I generally love a lot of that like 90s electronica, that sort of explosion of electronica over in the EU, like the European scene. But nothing that I was ever like that mad into, although Fatboy Slim was pretty awesome. Okay, what I would like to do now is grab that. So we'll put one there, you here, a bit like that. Pretty cool. I thought that was too wide for a second. I looked at it and I was like, wait, what's going on here? This one will be nice and simple, won't it? In fact, we need jungle wood. I'm going to put that right there. And then all this. Something like Blue by Eiffel 65. I mean, that was a part of that whole movement, right? That song in particular, not a big fan of. It's kind of all... It's just one of those, like, quirky songs, but then once you've heard it a bunch of times, it just becomes a bit annoying. Now, the question is, can we do all of this for this one here? I think we can if we go, like, up to this sort of level. So what we'll do is we'll put that there. Gonna need a couple more of those. Is that gonna work like that? I think it just about. The Funk Soul Brother is one of the best out, says Holes. Isn't it just? Also, that's Lord Finesse who says that. Like, when I was a kid, I didn't know who Lord Finesse was. But then when I was, like, an adult listening to all the 90s hip-hop and learning about Lord Finesse and listening to his records, then later on I heard that song and then it was just like an earworm. It was like, I know that voice from somewhere, and eventually I realised it was Lord Finesse. Also, if you like your classic 90s hip-hop, the Lord Finesse album, I think it's called Awakening, with Hip to the Game on it. Man, what a great record that is. I wouldn't say it's like a classic, but it's pretty much like an essential checkout if you're into that classic 90s hip-hop vibe, you know. If that's your vibe, check that record out. Okay, so out the back here, like that. Then we need a few more of these. Some of these are some of those. Bam! I'm trapped! Sort of. No, I am! I'm actually trapped! I'm trapped! There's no way out! Oh, thank goodness render pearls. Yeah, we're going to need to bring string into this area as well to take care of all the vines hanging down. But that is a path with all the trees zipped out of the way. I'm liking that. This means we've got to go into the Nether next. I need to get my bartering situation working so I can get more quartz again. And, wouldn't you know it... Oh, we've got this tree here to do. Wouldn't you know it, I can't finish my own sentence. Yeah. I can't remember what I was going to say. Right, we got a noise in the ear from Odiug15, Johnboy166, and Yayor666 with the cheers and the bits saying, does HC run Optifine, Optifine and Lithium for 1.16.1? I'm migrating my single player world to 1.16.1. It keeps crashing when loading with all 3 mods enabled. Yeah, well, I don't think, just, you know, process of elimination, right? But here's the thing, you know, this is a server, not a single player world, so we can't put Optifine on it. So we don't have Optifine, and we don't have Optifabric. So HC isn't really a good point of comparison, I guess. But thank you for the cheers and bits, dude. Appreciate it. Am I doing the right type? Yeah, I'm doing the right type here, aren't I? Okay, we now need to mow out more of this stuff, I guess. Come on! There we go. Okay, put... I don't know why I don't do a stack at once of these, because I have absolutely loads of jungle wood. I've got so much jungle wood, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Do you think it's a shame that many of the most talented rappers talk about so much negativity? Can you appreciate the quality of the art over content, or even the art over the artist's behaviour? Personally, I turn off Michael Jackson's music if it plays. Big Boy Scraps, I can separate the artist and the music in that way. Like, I still love Michael Jackson's music. I don't think that'll ever change, really. As for negativity, one thing I think's mistaken a lot in hip-hop is, like, a lot of the negativity is, like, telling you what's happening out there in the environment. I think a lot of the time that ends up mistaken. But, I mean, I'm not going to go too deep into that topic. For me, it's kind of easy to appreciate the music as what it is. I believe people are multifaceted, and even someone who does heinous things is capable of doing good things as well, right? And it's not an excuse. I'm not saying it means it's okay. I'm just saying that things are always a little bit more complicated than just black or white. And so it's perfectly conceivable that someone who does something heinous is also capable of doing other things that can be enjoyed. So I think it's a little different when you have the one thing before the other. Like, if you do something heinous and then you're like, this is going to start my rap career or whatever, then it's a bit different that way. That way around, I think. But when someone's art is out there and it's been enjoyed and it's brought joy to people, and then you find out this awful thing, it's sad. But I think you can still enjoy the music. For me. Other people are different. But for me, I can still enjoy it. And Thriller is a banger of a song, even if I had to do a dance of the song on Halloween. That dance is fun. It's a fun dance. Classic dance. The Jack is here with a donation saying, Hex, love your content. Have you ever listened to anything by Dewey Cox? Fantastic musician. His song Royal Jelly is one of those songs that really says a lot. Nice jungle path. Thank you to Jack. I appreciate the donation. I have not heard of or listened to Dewey Cox before. Unfortunately. Same thing with footballers, says Emanu. Like Maradona. Yeah, I get your point. It's because people are multifaceted. It's definitely like an interesting subject. I wouldn't say I'm like closing the lid on it and saying it's alright to listen to the music. Like, it's something to be talked about. Again, education is usually just the answer to a lot of stuff, right? It's not like we're trying to sweep it all under the rug and still enjoy the music. Like, we can acknowledge, hey, there's these accusations and whatnot out there, and you know, it's damning and difficult, but the music's still the music. It doesn't change the music. People are saying walk hard. Walk hard? Is that a song? Sounds like a song. Ah, we got like a bit of a different gradient slope here. What was I thinking? That's not how we do slopes. Do I have a shovel to hand? I do. There we go. We got a noise in the ear from Rachel Somar for 3 months saying, subbing on the train. Thank you ever so much. Are you on a train subbing, or are you joining the subscriber train, as some people call it? It's very confusing. Appreciate you. Thank you for the subscription. Is this too wide again? No, it's not. It just feels so narrow in places. And another bit I did wrong here with the old dirt. On this side, it's going to have to be a little bit different in places. Are we out? Not quite. Stop breaking leaves with your hand. You literally have a hoe in your hand. Well, you know, sometimes I just like to use my hand. What can I say? There are no trees to move out of the way here. I love how as I like make this realization. Oh, we're all good. Oh no, wait, I'm looking at one. Brilliant, just brilliant. All right, looks like we need more of that then. More terracotta. Let's do this tree as well. Let's only do a small amount of those, and then I'll be annoyed by it in a bit. And on this side, there are leaves in the way. Anyone have any tips on how to stay focused while doing online school? Because I am struggling, says Charmange Enna. Yeah, don't come to a Twitch chat. I guess it's a Sunday. It's a Sunday, I'll let you off. I kind of pictured that you were in one right now. If it's hard, you know, like... In life, you have to do things that are hard, okay? This applies to many things, alright? Things that you got responsibilities for or whatever. You have to come up against things that are difficult. It's good to learn to embrace the discomfort, the difficulty, the boredom, the whatever it is in sake of the bigger picture. You know you got to do your studies, and it's not the most exciting thing, but if you can learn that you just got to put up with that for a bit, knuckle down, get it done, that'll get you a long way in life. There's lots of times where you're going to make progress, you're going to get to the next part of where you're going because you take the time to knuckle down and do the thing that's hard, right? That's what I love about weightlifting. I love this quote, no one can lift the weights but you. That for me has always just been like, whenever there are things that are in life that get hard, it always feels easier because you spend all this time doing something that's hard and discomforting deliberately. Like, you're doing something that's like physically difficult constantly. And then all of a sudden, like, I don't know, maybe you know, I'm not taking an exam, but it's like if I'm studying for an exam or whatever, I'm like, geez, well I can go over there and I can lift that, so surely I can do this. You know? Simple, but madly effective. Let's have you go there to join that. Now this thing's odd because it's kind of like split in that weird way. It's actually like if you have it so that the next block along is there, it's too wide, and if you bring it in by one, it's too short. So it's like that odd spacing. So 1, 2.5 is sort of the way to think of it. So it'd be 1, 2, let's get that out of the way. 1, 2, and then a half means that, I think. I think that's what we're dealing with. Just doing it and enduring the tough parts, says Pritzender Pritzer. Yeah, don't look for shortcuts. Don't look for a cheat way out. It doesn't really exist, you know, because you find a cheat, you're cheating yourself most of the time. Because you still got to do that work. You still got to do what you got to do to study. And so if you're looking for that hack, that answer someone's going to give you, like, oh, just, you know, just press up, down, left, right, X, triangle, circle, and you'll unlock the cheat code. Then the cheat code doesn't exist. You just got to do what's hard sometimes. Oh gosh, this looks bad. Joke. Oh, okay, joke. I don't know why that would be a joke, but I was like, oh, what's wrong with the path? I must admit the paths are both a little too straight, but they'll look great from up in the sky. Now the thing that we need next is a clear inventory and then some quartz. Only Elon Musk has cheat codes, says Creeper. Brilliant. Let's just enter that rocket cheat code. That's how it works. Got it. Widder Shins is here with Cheers and Bits saying, art is a child. The sins of the parent do not always steal from the fate of their offspring. I like that very much, Widder. I like that very much. Appreciate it. Nurbert87 is here subscribing, and Zemph91 is also subscribing. Thank you ever so much. Appreciate your support. What are your thoughts on 100 Gex? Don't know what Gex are and why there's 100 of them. So that's my thoughts on 100 Gex. X, did you see that Corrales changed the T-junction to the other side of the road? I thought it was quite funny. I did catch that, but then I thought, now you're going to have different ones on either side, so we need to put like a car crash in the area. I guess. Unless you change both, then, well, you know, I'm done. I'm stuffed. Game over. Those can go in my backpack, those ones. Okay, and we just got to clear it out a fair bit is the idea. There's a lot of stuff that can go in my backpack though, so let's take these two. Aha, looking cleaner every time. Looking cleaner, looking meaner. Got 2 beds. I've kind of noticed here. Alright, that's a much better looking... Ah! Inventory. Ghost key. Zenith is also gifting subs to Factorization 4, Hoots McDouche, Lummigson, XC3557, or What Happened 09. Thank you everyone for subscribing, appreciate your support. We got Yak Soul here for 3 months. Thank you ever so much, dude. Appreciate it. I love how clean you keep your inventory, says Versailles Robe. Yeah, I get the impression from the way people comment a lot here and there that my natural neatness in my inventory is sort of like appealing, or people at least ask questions that give me the sense that they want to do the same thing. Before we turn on our piglin bartering farm, we have to fix it again because it is broken again, which is just... It's just going to get annoying at this point, but it is what it is. Now, there are certain things here. You know, I might as well just throw some of this stuff away as well, right? I've got so much of it. Okay, so I think we see the filters in the first one to break, which is apparently none of these. Okay, that one's broken. Maybe the filters are caught... Oh god, where are the filters? They might be caught in the hoppers. I don't even know where they are. Oh my god, there's so much sorting and fixing to do. Should probably just make new filters, right? That's going to save me a ton of time. That is actually probably the better way to approach this entire thing to begin with, okay? Let's just get rid of some of this stuff. And the string's going to be useful, but I've probably got loads of it, right? Yep. Yep, there we go, there's some filters. Filter! Let's go find out what ones have broken. So, still intact, all good. Apparently that one's all good, and that one, and that one. And that one? Okay, so the one after the ender pearl broke. Peculiar. I didn't expect so many of those first ones to be fixed, because they got tons of junk in them. That is quartz, which is essential. Essential. Oh my days. Too much stuff in here, really. It might literally be beneficial just to clear out the entire thing. We get so many items from the system. Right, now we got the filter from here, didn't we? So maybe that... Oh, whatever, this thing's getting rotated. Maybe that was the quartz filter. Okay, there's the next one. So this one is probably broken as well. Oh my goodness me, so much stuff. Let's go fix those filters. Don't need the noob juice, says Salty Hallerman. Nah, got loads of it. Quartz, right? Quartz was the one. Don't break again. I don't know what that one was. Actually, it was nether bricks after quartz, right? Also, I only had 4. Okay, I only had 4 filters. We need more filters. Right, we got Shadow AM subscribing with Amazon Prime. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate it. Also, 3,600 peeps are tuned in to check out the stream. Be sure to hit that follow button if you want to catch me more often here on Twitch. Thank you for tuning in today, peeps. So we need to get an anvil. And then just some junk item to rename. Do I have any more of those slabs? Well, I do, so how about that? Let's take half of those. Call them filter. the way it's done. Hashtag filter. I have no idea why I'm saying it like that. I really don't. It's just a thing that I do. So it was bricks, right? Bricks, glowstone. Let's put them in order. Bricks. Hey, look, there's some slabs. Bricks, glowstone, string, iron nuggets. Let's clear this out a bit so it becomes more obvious. Then leather. Then we don't care. So those are my next bunch of filters to fix. Also, let's press F3 and G for a second. Because where was quartz along here? Okay, it wasn't on a chunk border. Quartz. Then we have bricks. Ha. Then we have glowstone. So all the ones after a particular point just started breaking. String. Iron's still intact. And so's, you see, really odd, isn't it? Oh, maybe they... No, wait. These are, like, so backed up with items. Right. Okay, so soul sand is there because it made it past the filter. This is so backed up with items. But this is here. So the dispenser's still working. Okay, so it gets rid of anything else. So now what I kind of need to do is clear out everything that is not supposed to be in every time. So far so good. Okay. Yeah, and then all of a sudden there's this. And yeah, I might accidentally... I see, I can't even be bothered. Can't even be... Now how... This one must have been filled up to the top. This is so weird because it filled up yet the filter didn't break. I ain't got a clue how to explain that. Okay, then the one above. I will keep the gold. It's interesting that gold ends up coming through here as well, right? If you're thinking, X, you're wasting all these wonderful items. Well, they're not that wonderful, okay? Why didn't quartz get caught in there? There's no quartz in there, yet quartz gets filtered further down. This is so bizarre. Like, the way in which it's broken doesn't make sense in several different ways. Again, this filter didn't break, yet there's items in here. Okay, that is ender pearls. I will take the quartz. Don't need the netherrack. Then this chest, then that one. There might actually be like items in the back here, so let's try and check that. All ender pearls. All ender pearls. That makes me happy. Okay. Oh look, here are the filters. They're in this one. Okay, so same process really. Yes, I know it's not terribly exciting. Right, that also means we get to put all of that stuff up there. We got a noise in the ear from Minecraft with Mitch for 12 months, 1 year. Thanks for keeping me company this morning. No problem, dude. Thanks for tuning in. And then we've got to get everything in this chest out here. Again, this makes me wonder were there items in the hopper at the back. Oh my goodness me. Right. No, because nothing's filtering in. Then the top one's good. Ah! Oh! Too much stuff. Who said these farms were overpowered? No one. No one ever said these farms were overpowered. Okay, again, this one here is... Maybe I'd already come to this one today, but like, it's not full up. Yet the one above it was. Also, am I throwing out things that are supposed to be stored here? Yeah, nether bricks. That's fine, that's fine. Okay, so now we need to check the filters behind them, or the hoppers. All good? All good in the hood, homie? Glowstone filter was intact. That looks normal. String, also intact. Good, good, good. Everything back here is fine. Okay. So, now what we do is we throw out everything in our inventory as well. Onto the floor. Okay, and the things that are staying are just going to end up on this side. Okay, so I'm going to come over here and grab a bit of this. Alright. Put it back in. Repeat. See, I'm clever. You thought I was going to waste all these items. Oh, no, no, no. I got a plan. I got a plan. Okay. I think we were chucking some of that stuff away. Probably not a lot. Doesn't look like it. Hey. There we go. Next one. Fire charge. All good? Looks like we're all good there. Got a few. Okay, then ender pearls. And go and collect them all. In you go. Okay, quartz we probably know is done. Nether bricks. There were lots of them, weren't there? Let's do these. The human filter, says Clammy. That's what I am right now, aren't I? I'm a human filter. That would actually be all of it because it didn't get filled up all the way. Cool. So we collected those as well. Now glowstone. Pretty sure this... Actually, no, it makes sense because everything else was before it. Yeah, so glowstone. So essentially everything now, right? Like all of these items at the end can all be in here. Sweet. Pretty sure there was crazy amounts of string, but we got all of it. Iron nuggets. Not terribly excited about collecting these, but might as well. And then we have levers. That's the last, isn't it? That is the last. Okay, now we've got... You know, I'm going to leave the items wonky. So, we're all fixed and caught up on everything. But are we? Because... this actually looks good. Yeah, look at that. Some soul sand made its way into the end here. Maybe that means it was the first to fill up. I don't really actually know what that means, but why don't we go put it in the correct space. Looks like it's getting soul sand from back there as well. Okay, that's all the soul sand out of the system. Put it into the correct spot. Now what do we got to do next, peeps? We've got to get some bartering going on. What was in that slot there? Because it's empty now. Who be grunting at me? No! No! Not now! Not now, dude. Don't get glowed. Don't get glowed! Oh! Full. Complete full. I need a way to see how full up this system is. Anyway, let's get it running. Peeps are saying ender pearls. Ender pearls? Ender pearls in that slot. You accidentally stashed your own ender pearl. Ah! Slot in my inventory. Thank you. Gotcha. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Now, I can't change the delay of this at all. It should be pretty good. For... Wow, that's really full up, actually. So this thing's just ready to go for a long time. Don't really want any of that stuff. Ah, leave it there. Okay. That's it. It's all working. It's all... Did I turn it on? I turned it on. Dude! No! You beat down my door! Or did you? Okay. Did it open it? It made the beating door noise. Maybe it just opened it. That's weird. Loads of netherrack there. Not that you care. I need some of that, actually. We got Neeman Jabalik 23. Thank you ever so much for subscribing, dude. Appreciate it. Also, we got 3,800 viewers. Viewers have gone up since I've been sorting these out. This must be thrilling Minecraft entertainment. I need to take notes. I need to take notes. Peeps, we forgot to do something very important. And that is take a screenshot. I'll do it after. Can we get to 4K viewers, says Tudgeclo. The answer is no. No, we cannot. Also, that and also... Maybe that should be my screenshot. Just that. That's a beautiful face right there. Not really, it's ugly. It's ugly fugly. Is what it is. Also, VNK Ace 1. Thank you ever so much for subscribing, dude. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream, which is... you know, sadly coming to an end. That's the end of the stream, peeps. Surely not. Surely not. Oh, yes, it is. I'm going to do a raid. I'm going to pick a channel with less than 100 viewers. Someone is vibing in their Minecraft solo world. Well, let's go say hello to FLS Reactions. We are raiding someone to support them in the Minecraft community. So, hopefully you enjoy wherever it is we end up. There we go, got it. Okay, the raid has commenced. Peeps, be sure to hit that follow button and then hit the raid button. I'll see you all later. Take care. Bye-bye.